Hello folks, welcome back to our Sunday movie news program here on FlickDirect. You guys know the drill. Throughout the week, I go through the world of movie news to see what stood out to me the very most, and then I give you guys my personal take on the matter at hand. I'm your host, Austin, and now this news story I'm about to jump into has been updated, but I'm going to go into what was previously said. So, Dora the Explorer, that was a show that came out on Nickelodeon years ago, and apparently it was reported that earlier this week that they would be developing a live action version of it. Cool. I mean, I probably won't go see it because I'm not a fan of the show as I used to be. But still, nonetheless, it's getting a live action adaptation with Nicholas Stoller, who wrote The Muppets, which I think is a good choice. But then I heard who was producing, so get this. I can't believe I'm about to say this. Alright. So it was initially reported that Michael Bay. Take that in for a moment. It was initially reported that Michael Bay was supposed to produce the live-action reboot, and now it's been reported he has been backed away. I wonder why at this point. After what he's done with the Transformers movies, do you really want someone like Michael Bay producing a live-action adaptation of a kids show? I mean, he already did that with Transformers, didn't go so well. I mean, it just baffles me that the people behind this thing, the developers of this film, had even thought about approaching Michael Bay to produce this movie. I mean, sure, the dude makes a lot of money, so he must be doing something right. But the fact that they said, hey, Michael Bay, why don't you produce a live-action version of a kid's show, Dora the Explorer? It makes me laugh just thinking about it, but the fact that he is dropped out, I'm just thinking, like, you know what, maybe there's hope for this movie. But with Nicholas Stoller writing the script, you know what? Honestly, Nicholas Stoller's name alone makes me kind of want to go see this movie when it does get released, that is. Okay, so the next thing coming up makes me so stoked because I love this director and he deserves so much more recognition. So the DCEU is further expanding. We are getting the Justice League movie finally. Shazam is coming out very soon, as is Aquaman and The Flash. But it has now been reported that a Deathstroke solo movie is coming out, and get this, the director Gareth Evans, the director of the previous two Raid films, will be writing and directing a solo Deathstroke movie. Sign me up for this. Now, the DCU, I will not lie, is getting its foot back on track. Wonder Woman was amazing. It's not quite my top 10 films of the year, but it is definitely the best of the DCU movies by far. And I did like Man of Steel, and I had fun with Suicide Squad. What can I say? Knowing that a great director, a great martial arts director, just a good director in general is doing a Deathstroke movie, Gareth Evans hearing that name just makes me excited alone, because if you guys have not seen the Raid films, I mean, they are foreign films, yes, but you guys should seriously check out those films. The Raid films have some of the best fight choreography, the best fight scenes I have ever seen in a motion picture. I mean, they are some of the best out there. And just the fact that we'll be getting some really top-of-the-line action scenes from a great action director, who I think is the best action director working today. I mean, where could this movie go wrong at this point? It just makes me so happy that a director like Gareth Evans is getting more attention. Now, I just have one more request for him. Please get him to do Mortal Kombat. Now, coming up next is news that could potentially be worrisome to a lot of people, because when it comes to embargoes are a very tricky business out there. So Justice League is coming out in a few weeks. I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking forward to it now. Before I saw that new trailer that came out for Comic-Con, I was just thinking, hey, it looks fine. From the early word on Twitter, from what I have gathered from a very credible source, is that the embargo date for Justice League will be lifted the day before the movie releases. Now, this can be good and bad. Mostly bad, because usually most of the time when a studio embargoes a movie review or any collection of reviews before the date of the movie releases, that potentially means 90% of the time that the movie sucks. And I hope that Justice League doesn't suck. I want every movie to be good, even movies that I'm not looking forward to at all. People are understandably worrisome about this film, because this is a film that people are looking forward to. And the fact that the reviews are embargoed until the day before release, that pulls a lot of red flags, but it can be good for a few reasons. One thing is for spoilers. I've been hearing that the film is full of twists and turns and surprises. And why would you want your surprises out there days before? Because I know a bunch of critics that I have read that have spoiled movies. Shame on them, by the way. But here's a point I'm going to bring up as well. Wonder Woman was supposed to have lifted the reviews a day before release. I'm not even kidding. That was the original plan. But apparently, the studio decided to lift up the embargo a week early. So maybe this could happen to Justice League. Who knows? But for now, knowing that the reviews are embargoed until the day of release, the day before release, I mean, it's worrisome for sure. But I don't think the studios will actually be content with that. I'm sure that they'll release that embargo date a few days beforehand. Okay, so coming up next is regarding a theater chain, specifically Regal. I don't really go to Regal. There's a Regal about 25 half an hour from where I live because I mainly go to AMC and Cinemark. But anyways, that's the point. So it's been reported that Regal, starting next year, is starting to think about increasing the prices for good reviewed films and decreasing prices for badly reviewed films. And they're stating that this is going to be a demand-based ticket price like platform, which I feel like is gonna piss off a lot of people because most of the time, when I mean most, I mean 9% of the time, I truly believe that people, when they go to the movies, they're not going to go out of their way to see a film like Jigsaw, unless if they're fans of the franchise. When you look at a movie fan, they'll probably talk about Star Wars, or maybe Back to the Future, or something like that. I mean, I know Back to the Future was back in the 80s, but the point is that when people go to the movies, they want to see a good film, not something that's bad. So if they're going to really increase ticket prices just for good films, I mean, this is just Regal, thank God. They're gonna lose a lot of customers, I feel like. I mean, unless if the people that are buying their prices are rich. Movies are expensive these days. I mean, for an IMAX 3D movie at my local IMAX theater, it's about $21. For a regular IMAX, it's about $17, depending on if you get it online or not. But if you get a D-Box 3D movie, that's almost $30. So let's say if they think about doubling the price, and a D-Box movie, 3D D-Box, is already almost $30. That price could probably go up to $40 or even $50. On top of that, you have concessions to buy, so that's another $20, $30 if you have a party with you. So for one movie, including concessions, you could already almost spend over $100 for one movie. That is ridiculous. Thank God my closest theater is AMC and they don't do stuff like this. I mean, what my theater does is that on Tuesday, they do a $5 Tuesday, which is amazing. If Regal really does this, it'll probably be a huge downfall for them. All right, and the last bit of news comes directly from Mark Wahlberg himself. So as of recently, I believe he went to the Chicago Tribune. Let me look this up again. So in an interview that Mark Wahlberg had with the Chicago Tribune in October, like this month, he stated that he hopes that God forgives him for being in Boogie Nights. That's not a joke, he actually said that. But his real quote was this: "I just hope that God is a movie fan and also forgiving, because I've made some poor choices in my past. Boogie Nights is up there at the top of the list." I mean, Marky Mark, yes, and I still call him Marky Mark, alright? Listen to me, alright? You hope that God forgives you for the film that helped you out as an actor, and not for films like Max Payne, the Transformers movies, or even the Planet of the Apes remake that you were in. Yeah, we all remember that, Mark. I mean, if it was a movie that was offensive, you know what? Understandable. But Boogie Nights was good. I mean, really good. I just find it silly that he's hoping for forgiveness over a movie that he made, and a really good movie at that. If you guys haven't seen Boogie Nights, seriously, check it out. It's really, really good. And alrighty guys, that is all that we have for movie news this week. Guys, please comment down, let me know below, what do you guys think of the initial news that was happening where Michael Bay was supposed to produce a live action film for Dora the Explorer? What do you guys think of Gareth Evans directing and writing a Deathstroke movie? What do you guys think of Mark Wahlberg's comments about Boogie Nights? I'm still laughing over that. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's edition of Movie News. If so, please hit that like button and share and subscribe to see more just like this one. If you guys want to see our previous movie news video, please click right there. And if you guys want to see our extensive New York Comic Con coverage, please click right there. And of course, until the next week of movie news, we will see you guys next week. Have a great week, guys.